Hey you guys, I'm Jasmine, and today I'm bringing you guys another Reddit reaction video where we find a topic to talk about on Reddit, and this is going to be a couple of different stories that I found that I wanted to discuss with you guys in relation to New Year's Eve. So yeah, make sure you guys chime in the comments down below and share with me what you guys would do in this situation, or if you've been in a similar situation, because I would love to hear your thoughts. Just could start a discussion, or it could potentially help somebody out who is going through something similar. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. Also, make sure you guys check out my dating drama playlist, where I do this with a variety of different Reddit relationship or dating threads, where I chime in and tell how I feel, what I would do in the situation. But yeah, let's jump into it. So this one, the first story is called "My Boyfriend Broke Up With Me on New Year's Eve." It says the person who writes this is a 24-year-old female and their boyfriend is 28 years old. "My boyfriend of almost 2 years broke up with me through text on New Year's Eve." Already starting off bad. I don't know, I never really liked the idea of people breaking up with someone on text. You could give them a phone call, or if you've been together for a long period of time, you can meet them in person, you know? But I know people don't like to be direct, and they don't like confrontation either. But it says, "I was supposed to go over his house and spend time with him and his two kids, but I told him I wanted to be home before midnight since I wanted to be there with my parents. My mom and grandma were sick, and we had a family member from out of town come to visit. They didn't go out and were just at home. I wanted to spend it with him, my boyfriend, but I also wanted to make sure I was home to do the countdown with my parents. It might be lame, but I'm pretty close to my parents, and I didn't want them to feel sad I wasn't there to do the countdown with them." That's sweet. That's cute. You know, because a lot of people are not that close to their parents, so that's nice. She says, "I told him before that I was planning to spend it with family doing whatever we were going to do. We usually get together with my uncles and aunts and have a big party, but since they were sick, they ended up staying home. Anyway, he was telling me his plans for us, and that when it was closer to midnight, we could put in a movie and relax. I told him that I kind of wanted to be home before midnight to be with my family, and he got upset and told me to just not even go, since it was going to make it harder for his kids to understand why I wouldn't stay until the new year, and made it an excuse to hang up." So I get it, but at the same time, not to sound mean, I think it is crazy that he wanted her to, I guess, forget about her family, her parents and stuff, and wanted her to come spend time with him. Like, boy, it's okay if she spends time with her parents, you know? It's not the same as somebody spending time with an ex or something like that. It says, "He didn't text me for a few hours until I text him. After some small talk, I told him I was sorry, but I hoped he understood why I'd want to be with my family. His response was, 'I think I'm done,' as in done with our relationship." It's given bratty behavior as a grown man. I get it's the norm to spend Christmas with family and New Year's with friends, but I just felt too guilty leaving my parents the whole night. He wanted to spend it with his kids, which is understandable, and I wanted to spend it with my parents. I just figured he would understand. Or maybe it's me who doesn't. So yeah, great start to this new year." And it says, "My boyfriend sent me a breakup text after not wanting to spend New Year's with him." To me, it's given selfish, and it's given he probably low-key probably just didn't want to be alone with his kids while other people were doing other things. He probably looked at the situation like, yeah, you're being selfish because you want to spend time with your family and not me. And my thing is, I feel like it's understandable if that's what you want to do. It just is what it is. In my opinion, I feel like the person who wrote this is probably better off, because a lot of situations like that would more than likely come up in the future, where the guy would more than likely, I don't want to say insert himself, but he would probably try to make her choose between him and family or something like that. This person will probably end up being selfish or not really considering her feelings completely. Let me know what you guys think about this. How would you feel if somebody basically wanted to break up with you because you wanted to spend New Year's with your parents? Let me know in the comments down below. Especially with parents aging too. I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of messed up, especially if you're actually a person that's close to your parents. But anyways, the next story, it says, "I did not get to spend New Year's Eve with my boyfriend as he wanted to spend time with his friends. I am angry and think this is a valid ground for breaking up with him." Well, It says, "Hi y'all, I'm with my partner for almost 10 months now. We are generally a happy couple and spend as much time as we can together as time is of the essence, as I plan to move abroad for further studies soon." So she planning on leaving. I'm gonna keep that in mind. "However, I am sad for a while now, and the 31st night was a little heart-wrenching for me as I did not get to spend time with my partner. For more information, I am a 25-year-old female. I moved to a new city, which I'm currently residing in since December 2022, and was busy with shifting and looking for an apartment. Hence, spent last year's New Year's Eve alone. This year, however, I thought it would be a little different because I planned on kissing my partner, who is a 27-year-old man, at midnight and cuddling with him all throughout the night. I mean, living a classic rom-com fantasy." That's where people be messing up when it comes to relationships and dating. There's too much comparison of it being a romantic comedy or even comparing on social media. Not to say, because I'm not gonna lie, this seems like it's a simple ask that the guy could have did, but yeah. But a lot of times in other situations, people do compare their situation a bit too much, which causes drama. But in her case, I get it. It's understandable and relatable. But she says, "However, he planned a vacation with his friends and did not involve me in the decision-making process." I would be highly upset if I was dating someone for 10 months and they didn't tell me they were going on a trip and also proceeded to say they were going on a trip with their friends. Because some people have different perceptions, but I would think you would have told me about it if you actually wanted me to go, which makes me feel like he didn't want her to go. But she says she told him that she wanted to spend the night with him. He said that they are his childhood friends and he cannot abandon them. So she was like, "I feel like a second person in his life now. I am pissed and even felt like breaking up over this. Am I in the wrong here? Should I be more understanding, or is my anger and sadness valid? Am I the asshole for being angry about the whole situation?" So I would be upset only because he did not tell me in advance. Especially because New Year's Eve is like a big deal. It's like, you didn't talk with me about it. But it also depends if that's a person who naturally celebrates New Year's Eve or does stuff on New Year's Eve. That would be my only issue. Why didn't he share this information that he was planning a trip with his childhood friends? Also, have you heard of these childhood friends multiple times before too? I can understand her being upset that she won't be spending time with him. Do I think it's grounds for breakup? It really depends, because if everything else is going well with them and this is just a one-off situation where he was like, "Well, I'm supposed to be going with my friends." My thing too is I feel like this woman probably also potentially wanted to break up with him because she's going to be studying abroad and it would have turned into a long-distance relationship, which is nothing wrong with that. I completely agree with, if you're not married and or if you haven't been with somebody for over a certain amount of time and you guys are trying to do long distance, I'm like, you don't necessarily have to. You can break up and focus on yourself. If it was me, I wouldn't break up with them necessarily, but I would have felt like, why didn't you talk to me about this? Actually, no. I probably would break up with them. You could have told me, especially if you had made it clear that New Year's Eve was like a big deal, but it seems like she didn't really address it. It just seems like she made assumptions about the plans that they were going to do together, and she inserted herself without asking him about his plans. So I don't know. He might have also thought she wasn't trying to do anything because she about to go abroad, so I don't know. It could be information missing. But what are y'all thoughts about that situation? How would y'all feel if somebody you have been talking to for 10 months had plans to go on a trip with their childhood friends beforehand and they didn't disclose this information to you? How would you feel about it? Would you still date them or would you break up with them? So the next one is, "She broke up with me just before New Year's Eve." The person who wrote this is I actually don't know if this is a man or a woman, but they're 18. Their girlfriend is 18. It says, "Me and my girlfriend broke up after 12 months of knowing each other and 10 months of dating. I kind of expected it since she had been distant for the past month, but the breakup was still painful. That's always the worst when you're distant and you can tell something is about to happen. It's just they didn't pull the trigger. It says, I was emotionally close and didn't share my feelings to anyone before I met her. I don't have close friends or close family members to talk to. If possible, how do I say this? If possible, you should always attempt to have other people outside of your relationship around. It helps a lot so you don't end up making your relationship your whole life or your whole world. He says, she was my first kiss and first girl that hugged me. She was the only one I could share my feelings with, and also the first I cried to. I finally felt safe since I could finally open up to her. Oh no. It's his first love, or her first love. That sucks. Our relationship wasn't toxic and we never argued. The reason for the breakup was that she had lost the spark. She didn't feel any romantic feelings towards me anymore like she used to. So that can happen sometimes because y'all are so young. She probably just wanted to explore other things. Maybe. We broke up a month ago and tried to work things out, but it didn't work. She felt that I was more of a friend than a boyfriend to her. I wonder why she felt that way. He said, she also told me that it wasn't my fault, but I still for some reason feel so bad. I was perfect, but she still broke up. You gotta be careful with thinking that you're perfect because some things can be out of place. It could have just been the chemistry. It could have been, I want something different from you in your life. It could have been a mixture of things, but nobody is ever perfect in a relationship. Today at New Year's Eve, she told me that she wanted to talk. Not New Year's Eve. We went for a walk and she told me she wanted to break up. It's been almost 12 hours and I have barely eaten and I have only cried since. I still love her and I feel so lost. She was the shoulder to cry on and the only person to hug me. This is so sad. I think it's messed up that she did this literally New Year's Eve. That's messed up. I actually did a video about when you should break up with somebody when it comes to if you feel like breaking up with them for the holidays. But I always look at people like, why would you break up with somebody during or on a holiday? But I know some people are like, I don't want to go into this with these feelings. But at the same time, you should have did that way before. Because to me, that is so messed up. He said, we are still friends. And she told me I can always talk to her, but I still feel so bad. I don't know if I should just completely forget her or still be friends with her. I am so lost and just wanted someone to talk to and cry. Personally, after years of experience of breakups, I am an avid believer of not being friends with exes, especially immediately after. There's nothing wrong with being friends with them if there aren't too many strong emotions involved. But if there were, or if somebody still has feelings for the other, I think you need some time away. And especially if it's a first love, I don't see people being friends with their first love, in my personal opinion, because you're still gonna be holding on, especially if it's the first person you really was into. You need space from that person. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to get over them. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what y'all thoughts were about these situations. How do you feel about people breaking up with people during the holiday season on New Year's Eve? If you wanted to break up with someone on New Year's Eve, or if you wanted to break up with somebody and it was during the holiday season, would you break up with them? Or would you wait some days after the holidays? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, how would you feel if your significant other wanted to spend New Year's Eve on vacation with some childhood friends? Let me know in the comments down below. But make sure you guys check out my other dating drama advice videos. That whole playlist will be linked in the cards as well as in the description box down below. I'll be seeing you guys again soon, so stay blessed, stay positive.